Hey everybody, and welcome to the Chow Hall with Sergeant Chow and Tiny J. I know what you're thinking, but this is better than any Chow Hall you've ever been to, I promise you. I am your host, Sergeant Chow. He's your host, Tiny J.
What's up, guys?
And today we're cooking steaks. Now I went down to the local butcher and I got a couple of beautiful prime pieces of ribeye.
Those are very pretty steaks.
Beautiful steaks.
Yes, very pretty.
And how do you cook a beautiful steak like this? Well, Tiny J had told me about this technique that I had barely even heard of, never tried, but apparently it's an amazing way to get a perfect steak. What is this technique that you speak of, Tiny J?
It's actually called sous vide.
Sous vide. So how do you sous vide a steak?
So a sous vide steak is a steak that goes in a bag. You seal it and you put it in tempered water to cook through.
Okay, and so you cook it in temperatured water. Okay, so what are the benefits of doing it like that?
Well, if you've ever been to a really high-end steakhouse and you go, man, how did they get that perfect red through there? How did they render the fat down? How did everything just come out perfect with that nice hard sear? Typically, they sous vide it to get that perfect cook across it. And then they just throw it on fire and sear it off. So you get that nice, pretty steak all the way through it.
Okay, so this is like a high-end backroom secret kind of a deal.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess that's...
Difference is we're going to do it at home today.
Yeah, so I guess that's what we're doing today, right? So we take the steaks, we throw them in a vacuum sealed bag, throw them in warm water, and let them cook for how long does sous vide take for some? These are big old thick monsters.
So for these two steaks, most of your sous vides will have an app, but this is going to take about 2 hours.
Okay, about 2 hours to do that. So it's a longer process,
but it's set it and forget it. I mean, it's literally no work involved in it other than the prep.
Okay. What? All right.
Speaking of prep, how did these steaks get so nicely salted already?
Oh, well, to answer that question, we have to travel to the past. Hello, show-offs, and welcome to the past. I have traveled 24 hours into the past to salt these steaks. Now, if I don't salt these steaks at least 24 hours in advance, then Tiny J may become upset. He's so delicate and fragile. We gotta salt these steaks, you guys, come on. Okay, enough of that. Let's salt these steaks. Now, we're salting these 24 hours in advance because we have done a lot of research on this. And this is something that we have heard over and over again, that when you sous vide a steak, 24 hours in advance is the best way to do it. So we have got just a little bit of regular table salt for one of these. And then we have got some garlic salt for the other. We're going to try a couple of different ways. We're going to put the table salt on this guy. Now, garlic salt for Mr. Guy number 2. I like the way the garlic salt sticks a lot better already. We're salting the edges. We're salting the top and bottom. We're not going to be stingy with it. There's no reason to be stingy, people. Okay. That looks pretty good. Okay, now we're going to take this guy just like so. We're going to put him over here on this plate. And then we are going to set this plate right in the refrigerator. We're not going to cover it. We're not going to wrap it. We're not going to do anything. We're going to let it sit in there just like that. And 24 hours later, poof, you're back into the present.
Well, that explains that. Jesus. Fragile? At least you fucking listen for once.
Delicate. That's what I thought. Yeah. All right, let's season these steaks.
We'll bring in our other seasonings. Let's get these seasoned up. All right, we're gonna go ahead and start getting these steaks seasoned up. So we've got a blend of seasonings here for this steak as well as a mix here. This is Sergeant Chow's steak. This is gonna be mine. So Sergeant Chow, as I start seasoning yours, What have you got concocted here as I'm putting it on there?
So first of all, I season mine with the garlic salt as opposed to the table salt, which we saw in the past. And the seasoning you're putting on now is a mixture of hatch green chili powder.
Oh, I like that one.
Onion powder, garlic powder, fresh cracked black pepper, and truffle dust. Yep.
Yeah,
I didn't put any more salt in there because obviously there's already salt on the steak.
Oh yeah, we got a lot of salt already on the steak. So what is that other bottle there as I'm finishing up here?
And then this is just a blend of basil, rosemary, and thyme. Just we'll sprinkle it on both sides, just kind of to finish it a little. Doesn't have to be crazy heavy, just enough. We get some of that good flavor.
All right, now guys, as we finish seasoning these, we're gonna go ahead and place them in our bags. So we'll set that bad boy down in there. We can set it to the side. I'm going a little different route instead of a different bunch of mix of stuff. What I've got is, with already having salt on here, just some plain black pepper. Now for me, I like a nice heavy pepper on my steak. I think pepper just makes beef taste amazing. Got a good helping of pepper on here. Now this other season I have, most people may know I've heard of this, but this is called Summer Savory. If you're a fan of thyme, this is like thyme, but with a little bit more of a peppery note, and a little bit different floral notes to it. Now this seasoning you can be pretty sparing with because it goes a long way. I used to use Hatch powder, Hatch New Mexico Hatch chili powder on my steaks until I got my Summer Savory, and I just really like the taste of it.
Nice.
So both are great options all day long. So I'm liking the look on that, so we'll go ahead and put this in the bag.
Bag it up.
All right guys, we're gonna get these sealed up and we'll be right back to show you how to get them in your sous vide. All right guys, so we've got our steaks sealed up. All right, we're ready to put them in our sous vide. So that's what we actually have setting here is our sous vide. This is our tank. All it's in here is regular water out of the tap. Okay, this element right here, the rod here, this is actually our heating element. That's what's actually rotating the water around and keeping it circulated at that steady temperature.
Okay.
So
it doesn't look very fancy. It just looks like a regular old.
It's a very simple thing to use. We're going to lift up just a hair here. We're going to set that down in there. Okay. We'll take this one.
Oh, I see. You're kind of tucking the bag under the lip so you can get it out easy.
Yep. Because even though this is only about 130 degrees, it's not scalding hot. You know, it's warm. Yeah.
Okay, and this is like this for how long?
So we're going to keep these in here about 2 hours because of how thick the steak is.
Okay.
Right? So now it's just set it and forget it. So we'll see you guys in about 2 hours.
All right.
All right. All right. It's been 2 hours, Sergeant Show. It's time to get these things pulled out, get them out of their bags, and take a look at them.
Let's do it.
All right. So I'll have you help me out here, Sergeant Show. Help me out with the lid there. So we'll go ahead and pull the first one here. Just going to set it here on the towel just so we don't get water everywhere. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut this bag open. And one thing I'm going to also do as I'm doing all this is I'm going to try and see how much of that juice is in there, because we can always save that and reserve it for a base for mushroom stock. Now these don't have near as much juice as,
not much, right?
But we'll go ahead and
Dogs
get
like the smell of it.
Oh yeah, right off the bat.
Dogs are over here.
All right. Yeah, that got them excited. They were just over there chilling.
Yeah.
Guys, one thing I want you to see here, when we take a look at these, they just look like boiled meat. Right?
They really do look like boiled meat, yeah.
So that's what importance of taking to the next step. Take them out the grill, get that sear on them to make them look like a steak.
Yeah, and so as I understand it, there's lots of different ways that you could do this, right? You could do it in a cast iron skillet. You could do it under your broiler, in your oven. Propane grills, charcoal grills. We are using a wood pellet grill today, and the only reason that we're able to use the one that we are is because it has an adjustable grate, so we can get the flame directly on it, because we want to sear the outside of these as hardcore as we can, right?
Yeah, I couldn't do this on my smoker because I don't have that option.
Yeah, you gotta have that direct flame, right?
Yep.
Okay, so now it's the time we put it on the grill. I got my pellet grill here. You can see I've got the direct fire in there that we can put this over.
Oh yeah, look at them flames.
We're gonna take this bad boy and set it right on the hottest part of the grill.
I know she just put one on there.
Yeah, because there's really only enough. These ribeyes are so huge that there's really only enough room for one of them right on top of the pot, and we want to make sure that we get maximum fire on these.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so this is about what it looks like. It's only been on there for just a little bit. This is about what it looks like when we do that guy right there. We're going to try this a little different this time.
And look at the color on that.
Look at that color.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we needed.
Yeah.
That's just about 1 minute and 15 seconds, everybody. It's not long. The steak is already cooked.
Yep.
We're just trying to get that color.
Yep.
It's a lovely day in Kansas.
Oh yeah.
I love grilling in the rain. It's one of my favorite things to do in the whole world. Now you can come get this. Let's see what she
look at that
looks like.
flame.
Oh, this ribeye, you guys.
Yeah. That's nice.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Look at this guy.
That's a pretty steak.
All right, we're gonna take this inside.
All right, let's take her in. Well, we got them back in here off the grill. Now that's what a steak should look like.
That's what a steak should look like.
It's amazing how they look like boiled meat and just some fire on there.
Oh, and look how meaty they are.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, these look delicious.
Now if you were trying to cook it and make it look like that on the grill the whole time, you're not going to have the cook on the inside you're looking
perfection on the inside.
Yep.
Well, let's see what that perfection looks
for.
like.
All right, so let's take a look at it. So this is the one I seasoned. Oh, look at that. That's about where I like mine.
Oh, look at that. Super fat right in the middle of that. Oh, that looks good.
Yes, it does. So we'll go ahead and put that right here. Look at that. All right. Now let's get into yours here. Oh yeah. So look at that. Same exact color we're looking for.
I'll admit, it looks really good.
Yeah.
And it's nice and like between, like on the light side of medium rare, which I love. Mm-hmm. Oh boy.
Oh, look at that. We'll go ahead and plate that up there for you. Look at that.
That looks good.
Yeah.
You ready to try it?
I'm ready to try it.
That is a fine looking plate of steak right there.
Yes, it is.
Let's dig into this.
Let's get it.
It's the moment of truth, everyone. Is sous vide really the master chef's secret way of cooking steak?
I'm interested.
Which one is which now?
This one's mine. That was the one we seasoned up for you.
All right.
I mean, it's just butter tender.
Oh my gosh, it is tender. Wow.
You notice it has just enough salt. Even though we did it 24, you did it 24 hours in advance. And you did quite a bit of salt. It's not salty.
No, it's not salty. In fact, you could probably even add a little bit of salt in the, in the second seasoning. I didn't put any salt in the second seasoning. Well, I mean, it's not light on salt.
This one, remember, has the table salt versus the garlic salt too.
I don't touch that one either.
Yeah. So
Yeah, yours is really good.
So is yours. But simple. I think this one's got a little more of the salt to it with the table salt though.
It does, and I do think I like that summer savory. I don't know which one of these two I like better.
Why? They're both great. But they're very different.
You cannot go wrong.
No.
Well, first of all, I mean, that ribeye probably would have been hard to screw up anyway. Well, I don't know when they're that thick.
Well, so trying to get that good sear we had and have that color in the center.
I mean, it's probably the perfect time to do sous vide when you got a steak like that, because it would be very difficult to get that to the right.
You got like a 1-inch ribeye. You can grill that all day long and get a good, nice medium rare. You get these real thick ones. If you're not sitting there basting with butter or trying to keep moisture constantly in it, you're fighting.
Sous vide steak. It is not a myth. This is excellent. I mean, like I said, I don't think that you could recreate this without the sous vide, with the perfect temperature and the tenderness and everything.
One thing I'm happy with, as what I was concerned, is the fat's cooked down just enough too.
Yeah.
That was the only thing I had worried about, because I only sous vide steaks myself for a much longer time.
Yeah.
And so this is really, really good.
Good stuff, man.
So, hey guys, if you don't like what we do here, that's all right. I cook for me and this guy now, obviously. And you go cook how you like.
That's right. We are Oscar Mike.